All right, guys. Look, man. I wasn't even sure if I was gonna do this video or not. I'm a little tired. I'm frustrated, and or maybe I just need to let it out, and this is why I'm doing it. But honestly, I'm pretty embarrassed by what I watched today. But here's the thing: I've been doing these videos every Barcelona game for the past 2 to 3 months, and if I'm doing them when we win, I have to do them when we lose, especially when we lose like this. So, let's talk about it. Shall we? There's a lot to talk about in this game. And honestly, none of it is pretty. This was this was a very disappointing performance. Probably one of the worst performances under Hansi Flick. I thought it was Sevilla, but this is a new low. The first half was extremely poor. And the second half, Araujo made sure any hope of turning things around in that match died instantly because we were already losing 1-0. I honestly think Flick could have handled things better, the lineup. I do. But the majority of the blame falls on individual players who fall out. They really shrunk in big moments. Ferran's big miss, Kounde's own goal, Araujo, boneheaded red card, losing every individual duel. Just a disaster from top to bottom. So, as painful as they are, right? Here are my 5 key takeaways of this game from the Chelsea 3-0 victory over Barcelona. Before I do that, guys, make sure you guys hit the like button, you subscribe to the channel, and please, guys, activate the notification bell so you don't miss any future content from us. And I would really appreciate it. And let me know down in the comments what are your 5 main key takeaways of this game. So let's get into it. My number 1 is Ronald Araujo. It's time to move on. I've said this before. Rip the band-aid off. Call me reactionary, call me a hater, say whatever you want. This take is not based on just one game. Araujo has been unreliable. He has been bad in big matches for seasons now. And today was a full Araujo experience in the worst way possible once again. A pointless yellow card for complaining on a Lamine Yamal doesn't even make sense. On a Lamine Yamal's foul. Because he's the captain, he decided to do that. And then a reckless challenge for the second yellow. All of that happened in a half. And all of it when the game was still within reach. He killed us again. And when the lights are brightest, again. In the Champions League, again. Look, I like him. I have defended him. Those people who have watched my channel know I have been on Araujo's camp. I wanted him to succeed, but this is unfixable. We cannot rely on Araujo as our main center back if we want to go far into the Champions League, period. Barcelona, as a matter of fact, let me break it to you. We need a center back in January. Someone to replace Inigo Martinez. And we need him now. If we want to win, we need him now. So you make the decision. If nobody is signed, we may just be staring as a nada plete. We're not going to win any silverware this season. Flick was not good enough. That is my takeaway number 2. But I still believe in him. Look, I've said this before, and I'll say it again before people misunderstand. I believe in Hansi Flick, and I would ride with this coach until the very last day. I will sink with his ship. But today, his game plan was not good enough. Enzo Maresca outcoached him. Look, Enzo Maresca, as a matter of fact, he brought in Neto, he brought in Garnacho, he had Estevao, all players who can play defense, track back, and hit them in transition with a ton of speed. That is adjustments. But Hansi Flick starting from Araujo against a strong physical team who has high quality in the midfield, Caicedo, Enzo, and all the players I just mentioned. These teams will expose every single weakness that you have, and Araujo is a liability. And Olmo, remember, we have seen this movie way too many times, and the ending has always been the same. He trusted Eric Garcia because he played well against Atletico Bilbao, but this isn't Bilbao. He should have had Eric Garcia as a center back, and Olmo, the way he played against Celta de Vigo, I think would have been a much better option. This is the Stamford Bridge, under the lights, against a world-class midfielders and a team that feasts on mistakes. And having Dani Olmo, a much more experienced player, would have been much better. Eric Garcia got exposed by Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Ferran over Rashford was another mistake. Now, no defined structure, right, from Hansi Flick. That's a mistake. Overhyping the weekend win at Bilbao. That was another mistake. And we literally felt like we just copy-pasted and took it to Stamford Bridge. If we literally felt like we stepped into Stamford Bridge thinking we can do the same thing we did against Bilbao and just have the same performance. And Chelsea showed us really quickly, this isn't La Liga. This is not Sunday afternoon. This is when the lights are brightest, a big, huge game. But here's where I defend Hansi Flick. He said the best version of this team is still yet to come, and I believe him. This loss needs to be a lesson learned, not a death sentence. My key takeaway number 3 is Ferran Torres is not that guy. I don't want to hear about stats. I don't want to hear about he scored twice last weekend. I don't want to hear he works hard, he loves the badge. Ferran is one of the most frustrating players in Europe because he performs in easy games and disappears in big moments. And I have to hear Deco and Laporta say, oh, well, I don't think we need a striker. Other teams like PSG have played with a false 9, and we don't even need a striker. We have Ferran Torres. Look. He'll score a brace at home against a weaker opponent and then miss a sitter 10 yards from the goal in the biggest match of his life. That is who he is. He shrinks. When the lights are brightest, Ferran Torres will shrink and miss those chances more often than not. He missed the same thing against Club Brugge, and we couldn't win that game. That would have been an important 3 points. That chance today, man, today changes everything. That chance. He blew it. This is not a Champions League winger for a club trying to return to greatness, man. Rip the Band-Aid off with Ferran Torres, man. Rip the Band-Aid off, and the sooner we do this, the better team we are going to be for it. He's not a Barcelona level player. I hope I don't hear Deco say anything about Ferran Torres ever again. My key takeaway number 4 is Barcelona has no leadership. Let's just say it honestly. The veterans did not show up today. Kounde scores an own goal. Frankie, he tries, but without Pedri, he looks lost against elite midfielders, like in this case Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. Lewandowski looked like he was in his last legs. He barely even did anything. Araujo don't even want to talk about him anymore. The only player who truly showed up in this game with hunger was Rafinha. When he came in, I saw his energy. He changed a few things. He changed the dynamic a little bit. But it was just him. One-man band cannot save an entire team drowning in its own and just its own mistakes. And yes, I'll say this too. we've had our fair share of injuries. We have not at full strength here. Chelsea is a full strength for the exception of Cole Palmer, right? And quite frankly, we have been without Rafinha, without Pedri. Our squad is barely starting to come together. But at some point, the manager needs a consistent starting 11. You cannot build chemistry without constant rotation that way has been doing. This is what Hansi Flick has been doing this whole time, man. Sink or swim with your best 11 for God's sake. And go from there. If we don't win anything, at least give me a consistent team every single week. And that has been a huge problem. Lamine Yamal is my key takeaway number 5. Look, he was not the problem today. I heard so much criticism of Lamine Yamal, and I was going to criticize him until I heard everybody just going crazy about him. And honestly, it's very crazy, man. This kid was carrying Barcelona at 17 years old last season. The kid has already won more than most players can ever dream of in their whole career. And today, he was far from the problem. He created a perfect pass to Ferran Torres. An easy assist if Ferran Torres finished that. He worked defensively. He tracked back the entire match. He faced Cucurella, one of the best left backs in the world right now. Take a bow. He was a great. He pocketed him. I get it. You're not going to have your way with every defender every single game, man. But let's talk about this Estevao is better than Lamine Yamal narrative. Look, I love Estevao. He's an incredible talent. But let's be serious. He's playing with a 2 billion euro super team. Do you know the type of players around him? The level of support that he has? Comparing to the one Lamine Yamal carrying half of Barcelona's offense at 17 years old? That is ridiculous. Let's not lose the plot. Let's not lose the focus. And I think Estevao will be a breakthrough player in the World Cup 2026. I already predicted that. This is not against Estevao at all. But Estevao's finishing, it's incredible. But Lamine Yamal is in a league of his own. Okay, and this one hurts, man. This loss really hurts. Not because we lost the game, but because of how we lost. I dead honest telling you, I didn't care if we win or lose, just because our team has slowly becoming into their own. If we would have lost this game, say 3-2 or 2-1, I don't think I would have cared too much. I would have said, you know what, this was a tough team, let's move on. But the way we lost it, by not even competing, just not even a little bit, is what really got me, man. And the more I look at this roster, the more I watch these Champions League nights, the more I think this is going to be an uphill battle for Barcelona. Last season we competed because everyone overachieved. Everyone sweated every ounce of the body. Everyone played for each other. Nobody cared who got the credit last season. This season, we look like a group of spoiled players trying to play hero ball. Players who expect to get every call. Every time they fall to the ground, they expect to get the call. And when you watch that against clubs who spend hundreds of millions of dollars every year, like Chelsea, Premier League giants, even PSG, La Liga just cannot compete financially, man. And Barcelona is no different. In our current state, we cannot compete consistently at this level, against this level of competition, this level of intensity and physicality, until we rediscover that unity, that hunger and selflessness from last year that we had. That's what made us special, man. We will keep getting humble in matches like this. We need to go back to what we did last season. That's what made us very special. And look, no honorable mentions today, man. No sugarcoating. No one is safe. No one is safe from this game, from this performance, this horrible performance. Let me know your key takeaways in the comments, please. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and honestly, man, I'll just have to say this. I'll catch you guys on the next one, and as always, Visca el Barça.